Welcome to Coach Chloe, the Journey of Self Love, episode 28. Today is part 7 of our series, Tips and Tools to Hack Your Thoughts. And what we're going to be covering today is cultivating self love daily. In my home office, I have a huge whiteboard, and on that board, I write down the things I would like to do for myself on a daily basis, what I want to do daily. One of the things would be as soon as I get up in the morning, I pray. I find time to work out at least 10 minutes anywhere. It doesn't matter whether I'm sitting at my desk or I'm walking, it doesn't matter. But as long as there's 10 minutes of some type of fast activity, because I'm busy, I don't even wait for a routine. I just find the 10 minutes and I go with that. I also have on that whiteboard the right foods that I need to eat, the different food groups. So I have specific things on that board. I find time to play the piano because that's something that I love. It gives me so much of joy. I find time to play with Apollo, my dog, who's my happy place. He's my little happy blanket. Um, Over the weekends, I play golf. I play 2 rounds of golf. Sometimes it's a 18 holes. Sometimes it's 1 9 hole and then 18 hole on another day. And then every day I listen to some worship music and I sing along. It makes me feel good. I work on these podcasts. I spend every day. I spend 20 minutes writing my book. Even if it's 20 minutes, even if it's reading something that I wrote the day before and correcting that, I dedicate just 20 minutes to write up my book. And then during the day, I'm working. So using my creativity to build exciting experiences for leaders brings me so much of joy. Those are things that I do. And all these things feed my soul. For me, it feels like I'm loving myself because I'm doing things that I love. What about you? Get ready to hack your thoughts by cultivating self love daily. Let's talk and get deep into it. Stay right there. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back. So excited to share tips and tools to hack your thoughts so that you can cultivate self love daily. Self love isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's something that we practice on a daily basis. We often talk about self love like it's a destination, like it's a place we eventually arrive at. And if we work hard enough, heal enough, or achieve enough, and it's as though that we've already, we arrived at that place. But here's the truth: self love, there isn't a finish line for self love. It's not something that you just get up one morning or one day and you've completely figured it out. It's a daily practice. It's a lifelong journey. And some days it might feel more like a struggle than others, but that's okay. Think of self love as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Some days you might be lifting heavy. It may feel like you're lifting something heavy. Some days it may feel like you're pushing through some tough emotions, or you're setting boundaries, or you're dealing with setbacks. In other days it might be about rest, about gentleness, about just giving yourself permission to just be, instead of filling our lives with a whole lot of things. The key is consistency, just showing up every day just for yourself, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels like you're not making progress, because every little bit counts. Every act of self kindness, every boundary that we set, Every moment of self reflection builds that muscle and it reinforces the belief that you are worthy of love just as you are. Every morning, I get up in the morning, I smile. Before I get off bed, I thank God for a new day. I speak life and I speak hope and I speak joy over my day. I make declarations. So I get make sure that my mind is in a place where I'm believing that. When I get off my bed, I'm already smiling. Sometimes I may not feel like it, but I force a smile until I feel like it. Then sometimes, even when I force a smile, I still don't feel like it. That's when I encourage myself through my affirmations and my self validations and my aspirations. And soon enough, just like the sun comes up, a smile starts to break out. So, how do you cultivate self love daily? It starts with being intentional. It starts with making a commitment to yourself that you will prioritize your well being, honor your needs, and treat yourself with the respect and care that you deserve. It's about choosing every day to be on your own team. Creating daily rituals that nourish your self love practice is one of the most powerful ways to make it a habit. These rituals don't have to be elaborate or time consuming, they just need to be meaningful to you, something that brings you back to yourself, reminds you of your worth. My daily rituals may not work for you. What works for me is what I found makes me happy. And the operative word here is found. I found these ways. I tried many things people suggested. I read online, I saw on television, I looked on social media to look for different exciting things, but not everything works for me. So, again, what works for you may not work for me. For example, playing the piano is absolutely therapeutic. It's not for everyone. When I sit at the piano, I just close my eyes and play whatever is in my heart because that's where my fingers go. It doesn't even have to be a singable melody or a chord progression, or it doesn't have to be a familiar tune or a classical sonata. And don't get me wrong, because sometimes that could do the trick. But most of the times, here's what I do. I sit on my piano stool, I close my eyes, I take a deep breath, I wait a few moments, I place my hands on the keys, and I just play whatever my heart feels. When I stop playing, it could be 10 minutes later, it could be 1 hour later. I even forget the time. The clock doesn't exist. I allow the music to carry me away to a place of peace and openness to just wash over me. And when I open my eyes, I can actually feel my heart just get physically bigger and fuller. It is fulfilling, it's satisfying, and it's almost unexplainable. But that's what does it for me. What does it for you? What's something that you love to do and you get lost when you're doing it? This would be a great time to just go into the chat and just share with us what's something that brings you joy. Here are some ideas to get you started. Morning affirmations. Start your day with positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and speak words of kindness, of encouragement to yourself. It might feel awkward at first, but over time, these affirmations can rewire your mind to see yourself in a more loving light. Just like I smile to myself every morning. You see, I don't want to see a dull, grumpy face the first thing in the morning when I look in the mirror because that's the first face I see. Also, before anyone else sees my smile, I want to see my smile first. That is liberating for me. Another practice, another way would be gratitude. Every day, take a moment to write down one or two or three things that you're grateful for. Something, include something about yourself. Maybe it's a quality that you have, maybe a strength, or maybe it's a small win. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's in abundance, and it helps you appreciate yourself in the process. It's so easy to forget all the things we have, the people we're surrounded by, the love we may be experiencing, the joy we have, the money we make to provide a roof over our heads or a meal at our table. Um, Especially when there are people living in poverty and war stricken zones, fearing their lives. How grateful should we be? And, we tend to complain about the little things. So let's start focusing on those small things in life that do bring us joy, that keep us alive and keep us sustained. Another practice would be a mindful movement, whether it's yoga, it's stretching, a walk, or dancing around your living room, or moving your body mindfully in a powerful way to connect with yourself. It's not about burning calories or achieving a certain look, it's about honoring your body and the incredible things it can do. Think about your body and what it does for you, takes you places. You are able to sit, to stand, to walk, to dance. There's so many things that you can do. I heard someone, and it was a coach once. She shared talk something about about honoring our bodies, and she said that this body is a casing that holds us. It takes us wherever we want to go. It doesn't complain. It just goes where we want it to go. So we should always honor and take care of our bodies. Something new that I've been trying is chair exercises or chair yoga during the day, even if it is for 10 minutes. One thing that I know I need to do more of is managing my nutrition. Being busy takes away the joy of cooking or even the time in cooking a whole meal, because at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. And so for me to go in the kitchen and cook a meal, it takes a lot. And that's when unhealthy eating habits set in. And, that's when sicknesses and disease and pains and aches all start. So, I'm talking to myself here too. And that's something that I'm working on. How do we keep honoring our bodies? Another practice will be journaling. Set aside time each day to journal. This could be a space to process your thoughts and your feelings, or to just reflect on your day, or to simply just check in with yourself. How are you doing? Journaling is a form of self expression that can help you deepen your relationship with yourself. I journal every day. And the older I get, the more forgetful I am. So guess what? I end up just journaling and writing everything down. I just write things down so I don't forget. And I have a running log. But I also write down my thoughts, my dreams, my goals, my wins, my ideas. Whatever it is, I write it down. Because if you don't, it's gone forever. Another practice is self compassion check in. Throughout your day, pause, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? You know, what do you need in this moment? Give yourself permission to meet those needs without judgment. This might mean taking a break or saying no or asking for help. If you're reading something and you realize that you don't know what you just read, take a break. Give your brain a break. It works really, really, really hard. Think about the number of times in the day you check your cell phone battery. You don't want the battery to go because you lose connection. Do the same thing for yourself. There's a ticker in here. Check how you're feeling, because that battery is also needs to be fueled and recharged. These rituals are more than just habits. They are true acts of love. They're ways to show yourself that you matter, that your well being is a priority, and that you deserve to be taken care of. And the more you incorporate them in your daily life, the more natural self love will become. One of the things that I do for a living is that I'm a health and wellness coach. And so every day I'm talking to people that are of influence about managing their stress and managing their health for mental wellness, for emotional wellness, for physical wellness, for spiritual wellness. Okay, so, you know, how do we navigate those tough days when they do happen? Let's be honest here. There's going to be days when self love feels like a uphill battle, days when the negative self talk creeps in, when old wounds resurface, or when you just don't feel good about yourself. These are the days when your self love practice matters the most. On those tough days, it's important to be gentle with yourself. Self love doesn't mean you have to be happy and confident all the time. It means you give yourself grace, even when you're struggling. It's about acknowledging your feelings without letting them define you. It's about knowing you're worthy of love, even when you don't feel it. It's just giving yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. Hug yourself. I remember when I was in therapy, I kept pushing myself to be busy and engaged, so I was distracted. I was distracted enough to not let my problems overtake me and cloud my mind. And then my therapist asked me this question. She said, Chloe, why are you so hard on yourself? Why are you so tough on yourself? And I said, what do you mean? She said, you're doing all the stuff. You're just clouding your stuff, yourself with and overwhelming yourself. It's like you're punishing yourself. And she said, do you feel like you're punishing yourself? And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that what it is? Am I punishing myself to overwork here, to overdo it, to drive myself so hard? And she said, you know, just try and let it go. What can you do for yourself? What is one thing right now that you can do for yourself? I realized I couldn't let go of filling my life with things to do. It became an unhealthy distraction until I had to walk away or take a walk without technology. Just walk and, in outside in the open air without a phone, just a few minutes. And when I'm working from home, I take a few minutes to take my dog for a walk. He loves it. I love it. When we both get back home, we're both really happy because just walking outside and just breathing in the fresh air does wonders for us. So here's a few ways to navigate those tough days. Number one, give yourself permission to feel. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, anxious. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up without judgment, or don't have any pressure to fix it. Just sit in that for a while. Let yourself just be there. Sometimes it's acknowledging your feelings, that your feelings are enough. This is how I'm feeling right now. The second thing is reach out for support. You don't have to do this alone. Whether it's talking to a friend, a therapist, or someone you trust, reaching out for support can make a world of difference. We are social beings. We were created to connect, to talk. So remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. The third way would be practice radical acceptance. So, on the days when you're struggling, try practicing accepting it, radical acceptance. This means accepting yourself just as you are, your flaws and all, without trying to change or improve anything in that moment. It's about saying, you know what? I'm not feeling it's tough. I don't feel great, but I am enough just as I am today. I am enough. Even when you are feeling down, being able to say, it's okay. I am enough just as I am today. The fourth way to navigate those tough days would be focus on small wins. When you're feeling low, it can be easy to overlook your progress. Take a moment to acknowledge those small wins. The fact that you got out of bed, that you showed up for yourself in some way, that you're still here and you're still trying. These small wins are mighty victories and they matter. And fifthly, return to your rituals. Even on tough days, try to engage in your self love rituals, even if it's just one. These practices, they can ground you, bring you back to yourself, and remind you that you're worthy of love no matter what. If you didn't start the day well, no need to wait for tomorrow and say, I'll start tomorrow. Because like the old saying, tomorrow never comes. Now is the time to start. Now. It's like when we try to diet or eat healthily, and we make one wrong mistake by putting something with high calories or sweet or carbs in our mouth, and it's like, well, I broke my diet today, so you know what? I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes, because when tomorrow comes, then we put the next thing in our mouth. So being able to say, that's okay. I had that cookie, but for the rest of the day, I'm going to still watch what I'm eating. Making self love non negotiable is what should be your number one priority. In a world that often tells you to put others first, making self love a non negotiable can feel radical. But here's the thing, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't show up fully for others if you're not showing up for yourself, because then you are inauthentic. Making self love non negotiable means prioritizing your well being, setting boundaries, making choices that align with your values and with your needs. It means saying no when you need to, even if it disappoints others. It means making time for the things that nourish your soul, even when life gets busy. It means saying yes to the right things. That's going to bring you joy, that's going to fuel your soul, your mind, your heart. It's about recognizing that your relationship with yourself is the foundation for everything else in your life. You are the one person you will spend every day with for the rest of your life. So develop and put in the time to work on the relationship with yourself. You see, when you love yourself, you're better equipped to love others, to pursue your passions, and to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. So, as you move forward, commit to making self love a daily practice, a non negotiable part of your life. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Because at the end of the day, you deserve to live a life that's rooted in love, especially self love. So, as we close out today, engage in a daily practice of cultivating self love practice, practical rituals. Find strategies for your tough days and know what the importance is of making self love non negotiable. Next episode is on the art of boundaries, and that's just diving in deeper into self love. So go ahead, if you like what you're hearing, click like or just drop in the chat some ways or some strategies that you have that you can share with us. I'm excited you taking this journey with me. It's a honor to walk alongside you, to share these thoughts, and to explore what it means to truly love ourselves. My hope is that you leave here today, as you leave, you embrace a renewed sense of self worth, of self compassion, and self love. Remember, this is your journey, and you get to decide how it unfolds. Trust yourself, be patient with yourself, And most importantly, love yourself every step on your journey of self love. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were yesterday. Until next time, take care.